If you're not a critical thinker, then this is going to absolutely rattle your brain. Actually, please tell me in the comments whenever you decide to exit this chat. Once you start awakening and you start seeing through the veil of illusion and you start asking the deeper questions that evoke answers from inside of you, you start to just decode life. Everything seems like it's a code telling you information about what the fuck we're all doing here. Well, I've been decoding for about 15 years, and this one is the first time ever I've come up with this. You know how the 3D, third dimension world is upside down world. The perceived leaders are dumb, and what they wanted to do to interrupt our knowing, our true internal Christ consciousness that lives inside of our fascia, they rewrote history, and they rewrote it just upside down. Everything they tell you to believe the opposite. If they tell you that the creator of this human experience is a man in the sky, then obviously the creator of this human experience is a woman in the sea. Let's say goodbye to all of the religious people who just fell off. And now that we're here together, let's decode this. There is no outer space. There are no planets orbiting. There's no sun outside of us. There's nothing up there. We live in a contained environment, but what there is the sea. The sea is outer space. The sea is where we can enter into other areas of this experience that we're in. Maybe you've heard of Agartha. It's the inner world. You've heard of different portals and stargates, and you see these sculptures that are in the at the bottom of the sea. The sea is where we need to be looking. This is exactly why they don't want you communicating with dolphins, and all of a sudden it's become illegal. And that is because the dolphins have information. And the more we come online, and the more we decode this experience, and the more we purge ourselves of all of the things that they've been trying to keep us small, like fluoride, like aluminum, like the parasites. All of these are ways to keep us from remembering. But whenever we start to awaken and then we go into the remembering phase and then we activate ourselves, we can communicate with dolphins, we can communicate with plants, we can communicate with animals. So if we were to communicate with dolphins and they insert information into our mind, then we would know the truth. Now follow me here. You know how they create movies because there's an agreement with the perceived leaders that for them to carry out their really fucked up plans, they have to tell us about it. So they use Hollyweird for this. So I stay away from those movies, right? Unless I'm decoding something, but especially with my daughter. Here's where y'all might fall off. We watch mainly Ghibli Studios. I'm pretty certain it's a Japanese production company. The main movies that we watch from Ghibli Studio are about magic and about spirits. And I love this because we believe in these things. We live in the jungle. We know that there are spirits all around us, water spirits, tree spirits, rock spirits, jungle spirits. Well, we started watching this movie, Ponyo. Ponyo starts as what they call a goldfish from the sea, and then she becomes a human with magic because she tasted human blood. This is exciting! In the movie, if you haven't seen it, her father is trying to protect her, keep her in a bubble, and keep her from coming to the surface because he doesn't like humans because of how they treat the ocean. Valid. Heard. She gets scraped up by a truck that's pulling trash out of the ocean, and a little boy finds her. He breaks open the glass. He cuts his finger. She licks his finger, tastes human blood. She falls in love with this little kid. She goes back into the ocean because her father grabs her. He tries to use magic to keep her from turning into a human, but because she has the magic, she turns into a human herself, and because she tasted human blood. Please keep following me because I need y'all to communicate with me in the comments about how bizarre but also possible this is. I'd really love some scientists to come at me for this one, honestly. You know, because scientists are paid and they have their own narrative, right? Like, because we came from monkeys. So her father calls upon her mother. Her mother turns out to be what they call in the movie, essentially the mother of the sea. She comes, she's giant, she's huge, she's beautiful, and she tells Ponyo's father, let's see if this is true love, and if it's true love, then she gets to turn into a human. Okay, so I'm like, there are so many movies based around stuff like this. True love, turning into a human. But this one just feels really like a strong message. And what the mother says, or what the father says to the mother is, please turn her back. If not, and they don't have true love, then Ponyo's going to turn into sea foam. And the mother says, yes, dear, that's where we all originated, sea foam. I just went, oh my God, we use microorganisms here on my farm. We use them in our natural swimming pond to clean up the pond. We also use microorganisms to grow our food and the food forest, all of these things. So I got to thinking, if we actually all come from the sea, what if our evolution is exactly this? What if we all started as microorganisms and then turned into this actual creation where we came from aquatic beings in the sea, unable to use our hands and legs because we didn't have them. And if you know anything about microorganisms, the accumulation of them from your environment help things grow and evolve and hold memory. It holds memory of where we're from. So if we are all from the sea and we originated from sea foam, and it was intention that created us and magic that allowed us to become these walking human beings, wouldn't this make sense as to why we're seeing so much mermaid information right now, so much mermaid disclosure? Maybe that rings a bell to The Little Mermaid. There is no doubt in my mind I will die with this belief that none of us come from something out there. It's all from down below. It's all through the sea. It's all through water. Water holds memory. Water holds information. Where do they put all of the machines and stuff to disrupt our information, to disrupt our frequency? HARP, it's in the sea. There's multiple of them. Everything that they do, like this so-called El Nino that's coming, which, come on, y'all have to know that that's bogus. This is obviously them ramping up HARP so that they can destroy information that's coming out. The more we are all awakening and we're activating our cell memory to remember the truths of what we're doing here, they have to deploy everything that they can to interfere with that. And the best way to interfere with our knowing and our truth and our ascension is with fear and destruction. So this is what I feel. This is what I'm thinking. What if dolphins are what if it goes something like this? I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe y'all can help me unravel it completely. What if it's whales? Okay, we know that they've been here for a very long time. What if it goes from, in Ponyo also, they talk about the Devonian age. And it is when Ponyo remembers and becomes a human that the sea goes back into the Devonian age. And one of the things that they say in that movie, this old woman says, when a creature comes out of the water with a face like a human, a tsunami begins. And when Ponyo comes out of the water, a tsunami begins. What if the more information that we gather and the more remembering that we have and the more connection we have to the sea is when they start creating these El Ninos, these hurricanes? All of that is reflective of how much we are ascending.